Evelyn to Philip, January 5th, 1944. My own Phil. Didn't write yesterday, but I think you'll excuse me when I explain I was so busy yesterday and today that I doubt if I had time to breathe. Yesterday I made 7 hems on Adele's dresses. Whew, I'm glad that's done. I also did some shopping on Broad Street with Betty, mainly at the yarn shop. I bought dusty pink wool to make Ethel a fascinator, a bluish gray wool to make one for Mom, and a gorgeous peach wool angora for Adele for a sweater. It's not a true angora, but is very close to it. It cost 65 cents a ball, but being the last 5 of that particular color, and since she expected no more and wished to sell, she gave it to me at 50 cents per. At a cost of $2.50, Adele will have a lovely sweater. I used the $2 given to Adele by the Browns. I'm using the simple stocking stitch with a 2-knit, 2-pearl waist and cuffs. It will have a square neck. The other sweater, the pink one with the white satin threads through it, fits her perfectly and is very good looking. Do you remember the 3 dresses I bought from my cousin Bella this past summer? Well, today Adele wore the blue and white print with the white eyelet pinafore ruffles, collar, and pockets. And baby, she looked like a doll one would go into a doll store to purchase. God, but she's pretty. I can't believe she is our daughter at times. Last night the folks next door asked me to accompany them to the movies. I was rather, page 2, anxious to see the picture, The Adventures of Tarto, with Robert Donat and Valerie Hobson. It was filmed at the Gainsborough Studios in London, and I wonder if perchance you could visit there. It was the usual Nazi picture, packed with drama and excitement. I haven't had mail for 2 days, and your last letter was dated December 16th. Can't understand the delay. I guess you haven't written, as I get your mail regularly. Come on, something. I received S&D's $3.45, and boy, I'm really short this month. Hope I get that $15 soon. Jack N. had a fellow buddy from his camp home on furlough here call me. Jack is expecting a 15-day furlough, and I think he is coming to Philly. I'm going to write to him tonight and get the latest. This fellow told me Jack sees quite a bit of a whack. Did he mention anything of her to you? Lizzie called us recently to see how things were and is quite anxious to see Jack marry well. Had a letter from Gloria, and her sister Frida had a miscarriage in her 6th. The baby had been dead in her abdomen for some time, and they could not determine the sex. Gloria may be here this weekend or some weekend this month. Adele tried to stand on her head today. The thing I like best is when I tell her to sit down on the step, and she does so immediately. She walks over to the step, bends over, placing both hands on the step, then one knee, then the other, and works, page 3, like a beaver trying to turn her little behind so she may sit. You'd like the view. After a short while, she manages the turn. She kicks her feet and claps her hands, holds her head as if the troubles of the world were upon her brow, throws kisses, and waves. She likes to play the xylophone Jack N. bought her when she was born. You ought to see her point to the doggies in the picture books when I ask her where's the wow-wows. Same goes when I ask her about a baby. She loves babies and children, especially Natalie. Natalie takes dancing lessons and practices in here at times. Adele watches her intently without batting an eyelash. The funniest, I think, is when Adele turns all the way around. I think surely she'll fall, and she always fools me. I found a multicolored rubber ball that is just right for her, and she had a grand time bouncing it. I found it in the buffet. I don't honestly know the color of Adele's eyes. They are brown and gray and dark. That lock of hair I sent you was cut by Betty. I didn't have the heart from the back of the bottom and is darker than the rest of her hair. It sort of leaves a spot if you look real close. I'm only sorry we couldn't accompany the curl. The weather since Monday has been miserable. Rain, snow, strong winds, cloudy, and generally dreary. Page 4. I took a shower after bathing Adele this evening, and I'm wearing my red robe and royal blue slippers. It is 8 p.m. and Mom is listening to Fleischer. He comes on at 8 now. Harry is sleeping and Goldie is at work. She goes on days January 15th. Harry started on the 1st. I did forget to tell you that Adele is not chubby anymore. She is perfect now and has cute little curves. Or did I tell you? Ethel is starting her 7th month. The baby is due the middle of March and is very large. I told her I was going to make something for the baby, and she insisted upon paying for the wool. I told her I wouldn't knit a thing unless I paid for it. She has been more than generous and appreciates handwork. I shall be glad to do it for her, at my cost. Al moved their furniture into the front room, and Mickey and Ray have the smaller room. Darling, if I could only draw you close and whisper in your ear how much I adore you. I'm so hungry for you, the sight and feel of you. 5 months today you were here, but I know you will one day be here again. I love you, Phil. Your Ev. P.S. Give my best to Red. P.P.S. The only cigarette lighters available are $1. They are cheap, and I doubt if they are good. Do you still want one? Evelyn to Phil, V-mail, dated January 5th, 1944. Darling, just finished writing you a lengthy airmail letter, but just got a bit of news I thought you'd appreciate. Harry W. and Eddie Strongan are both in England. Eddie wrote to Lena and said he doubted if he could see you, but he might be able to see Harry. I don't have their addresses at the moment, but I'll send them shortly. I think they will contact you. I know Eddie has your address. I'm in the midst of a letter to Jack N. Guess the 2 letters today make up for my not writing yesterday. Your last letter was written on December 16th, and here it is January 5th. Wonder what the holdup is. I'm so impatient for some word from you, sweetheart. What did you do Christmas? New Year's? 5 months today, baby. Gosh, that's a long time. Don't forget to send Jack birthday wishes. Both of them. The 12th and the 22nd. I love you, sweet. A kiss from your Ev. This is another V-mail, also dated January 5th, but it goes into January 6th, from Evelyn to Philip. Dearest sweetheart, well, honey, tonight it's the same old story. Still no mail, and since it is just a month since you wrote the last letter I received, and that's longer than ever before, I feel pretty sure in stating that some change must have occurred. Naturally, the first thing I think of is you're in France or something equally similar. The Bellets have had mail inclusive up to December 26th, and I'm stuck with the good old 9th of December. January 6, 1944. As you may have noted, I gave up in disgust last night. Today, at long last, after waiting so long, Two short letters dated December 14th and 15th came through. One was evidently written after one that did not arrive, and it doesn't make much sense. Something about oysters at Evelyn's, etc. The letters between the 6th and 14th are missing, and undoubtedly I'll get them sometime this year. Your letter of the 15th only served to disgust me more. I'm sincerely sorry if I threw cold water on your business aspirations, sweet, but certainly you have no right to feel the way you do. Surely you must feel that a business is the best thing to secure all our futures. I felt the same way about my job, and that was one of the important reasons why I took it. I'm very flattered, sweet, that my word means so much to you. Ditto for me, but you'll have to feel more strongly about a business venture than you do now if you have any intentions of making a go of it. I hope my long letter explained my reasons for not giving the subject too much attention when you most expected it, and I trust you have thought better of it by this time. I'm certainly doing the most I can to that end, and you have no right to make me feel so badly about the whole matter. I didn't say I wasn't interested in the proposition. I just thought it could wait until such time as we were financially able, which is terribly important, to get a good start, until you, Jack, and whoever else is interested could get together. I believe in looking to the future when it concerns financial ability, for money certainly is a handy item at times, but I can't discuss the subject or make plans, for there are too many aspects to be considered which are indefinite. I do know that we will go into business eventually, that I want you to rest for several months when you get back and not think of anything, that I want to be strictly on our own without any aid whatever from anyone. Please put that in your pipe and smoke it for future reference, and don't for 1 minute forget it. I hereby apologize for any and all hurts I may have caused you, and hope that when you have a good idea that you stick to it regardless, for then you'll make a success. I worked on Diana's sweater the past 2 nights and completed it this evening, buttons, initials, and all. It's a real beauty, and I've started on a cap to match. The sweater is the prettiest shades of pink and blue you ever saw. I'll write more tomorrow when I expect to have more time. In the meantime, I'm immensely relieved that some mail has finally come through. I love you, my dearest. Every day makes the bond stronger. Your Ev. Philip to Evelyn, V-mail dated January 5th, 1944. Darling Chippy, no mail today. The delivery of mail has been very slow and inconsistent of late. Instead of improving, the service seems to become more undependable daily. I know there is a good reason for it, but all the same, it is discouraging. Last night I played cards again, in spite of my intention to go to the movie, but I guess it was all for the best, as I made $12 for the evening. Tonight, however, I put my foot down when the guys came around looking for a game. I had decided to go to the movies tonight, and that's just what I'm going to do. I'm reading over yours of December 2nd. I notice you take me to task for drinking beer up to the collar button. Maybe if I had remembered to mention the fact that it only took 3 glasses of beer to fill me up, you wouldn't be laboring under the misconception you evidently are. As for the fact that I left the dance on the first truck, I assure you it wasn't at all for the reason you suggest. If, God forbid, I shouldn't see you for 2 or 3 years yet, I don't think I would be bothered that way. At any rate, aside from missing you, sweet, I don't feel that I'm missing anything. Least of all that dubious commodity common to all women, but only desirable to me in one woman. And that one woman is you, my own Chippy. Maybe I'm prejudiced, but I have yet to see the girl I would trade you for. And until I do, my pride in you and my love for you will keep me your Phil. There's a copy of a letter from the government explaining the use of V-mail and how it is to be treated.